All right, we're headed to Concord Polaris Canam. We drove a Shelby today, and we got some clutch issues that we found after King of the Hammer, so we're gonna go over there. We're gonna take a look in the showroom at the Mav R and Pro Rs and compare those for you guys. All right, we are here at the very popular Moto Expo, Concord Polaris Canam dealership, Concord, California. Drove the Shelby up here, and we blew the clutch apart out at King of the Hammers, so we're gonna have them change the roll pins out on it. We're gonna take a look at some of these new cars, maybe get us a desert setup. All right, we are here in the showroom at Concord Polaris Canam. We got some nice equipment in here, some Pro Rs, Mav Rs, get some kid stuff, 2-seaters, 4-seaters. A lot of these got some light modifications, a good foundation. Just some beautiful rigs inside this nice little garage showroom, and then they got a bunch of OEM factory cars. We'll go ahead and take a look at the yard out here. Yeah, nice stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the difference between the Mav R and the Pro R here. It's my kind of first experience around them. Went to King of the Hammers to go try to test drive them, but had a hard time with that. I don't know if this is I'm guessing this is kind of a modified car, so it's probably not what you're going to get from the manufacturer, but this is one that's available for sale here at Concord Polaris. This one's got nice speakers, really nice door panels. Go ahead and climb in here. Very nice dash. Got all your switches for the gearbox. Very trick. Small little dash. Wow, they even got speakers up in the dash there. Speakers in the door panels. You got kicker audio behind your head. Got this really nice switch panel, a mirror. This is a cage, TMW cage in the roof. Looks like maybe a little rigid light. Man, this thing is outfitted quite nice. The guys here at Concord Polaris Canam have great taste. So you can see they also got a rear view mirror or side mirror. And let's go ahead and kind of get comfortable in here. So it's got just the standard seat adjuster like the X3, and the shifter feels like it's in very good position. The paddles don't really have a great like detent or magnetic feel. They're kind of spongy and kind of a long, heavy throw, very springy, I guess. Got a smaller glove box on the X3. This one has a latch, which is quite nice. Keep your stuff from spilling out when you roll over, as you probably will. Oh wow, there's an additional, that's really nice. This also has a latch, and that's how you get, oh wow, they got a USB built in here. Looks like they got a cigarette lighter, and this is probably to go to the ECU. And on the Canam, in fact, X3, it's under here, and it's kind of hard to get to, especially in my car. Looks like they probably have some switches for the lights. There's a factory Canam button panel here. Kind of spongy buttons. We won't hit the start because it's got the key in it. And then you got the switch work. Seating position is pretty good. The car doesn't feel, I mean, I guess it does feel quite a bit bigger than the X3 in between the seats, even though it's probably just 1 or 2 inches wider. I feel like I'm sitting pointing downhill in the seating position. The seats lean kind of far back. But yeah, what a very nice rig here. We'll go ahead and take a complete walk around from the front to the back and show you what the car looks like. So you got probably a TMW bumper or SDR. That's a common theme of parts being used here. Some Metal X off-road wheels, and this is on, what size tire is this? Sorry for taking so long here. Wasn't expecting to do this, but figured since I was here, we'll check it out. Can't tell the tires. They kind of look like 35s. Beautiful TMW powder-coated cage, kind of has this metallic finish. And yeah, the speakers are nice. Looks like they got the Link bed lock system. Bed's solid. I mean, if you were going to use this for utility, there's pretty good stack in there. What would be cool is to be able to shoot photography from the back of that. It feels like it'd be pretty capable of standing on. Here you can see the rear radius rods. You got 2 lower radius rods. The toe link, toe link appears to be adjustable, which is fantastic. Then you got this upper radius rod, non-adjustable unit. And then the sway bar, unlike the X3 where it's in the front, this one's in the rear. So you got a really long drop link, non-adjustable drop link there. Yeah, beautiful machine. Might as well look at the arms. First look here. So appear to be pretty beefy. And yeah, definitely some more material where the trailing arm fastens in the front. Very nice there. And there you could see the engine and DCT. This has already come with silicone hoses, which you kind of need to add. And an intercooler there. Really nice placement and positioning. And there you can see that's the inlet. So that kind of rams air directly in the intercooler. Very nice packaging there. Rear hub. So there again, you got that adjustable toe link. It's single shear, unfortunately. Dual shear on the bottom link, which is nice. And yeah, you can see the big giant hub assembly there, which pretty much goes all the way down from the bottom and all the way up to this top link, and has brakes integrated into that system. There's the DCT. Very, very nice packaging by Canam. Big shocks. This car has live valves on it. And there you can see that's the air filter assembly. Looks like it's much easier to get to than the X3. Yeah, very nice. Or you can see this is where the back of this TMW cage links to the chassis there. Yeah, pretty cool unit. You got some nice LED whips on there. Look like they're quick release. There you can see that massive intake that goes directly into the intercooler there. So very nice. And then the front suspension, you know, when you see it on photos and stuff, it looks really bulky, but it really not that bad. Seems kind of thin. And it goes into this cast piece where it's welded. So I got 2 different kind of materials here. Big cast knuckle, again, like in the rear. There you can see how it integrates into the caliper. And then this one has a shock mounted on the lower arm as opposed to the X3. Big boy for a steering rack. Actually, the diff looks about the same size as the X3, not too much bigger. Axle shafts seem to be quite a bit larger. So definitely just some more weight on this car. Here you can see the steering links adjustable here. You got this bend in them. The cast aluminum piece that bolts to that knuckle. There you can see the steering rack from the other side. Looks to be easily removable. And actually quite a bit of room if you have to remove the diff. All the wiring, it's nice and tidy. Looks to be easy to get to as you're going to be servicing this thing. So very nice job by Canam there. There's the front live valve shocks. Pretty neat kit. Got a bunch of little reflectors and stuff on this car. But very nice kit here. Very tastefully put together by Concord Polaris Canam. Metal effects wheels with that red bead lock. Yeah, this could be yours. This thing is for sale. I don't see a price tag on it, or else I'd happily share that info. But thanks for watching. We're gonna go ahead and look at this Pro R here now. And we're gonna just dive right in. So again, they're using some aftermarket bits on this car. Appears to probably be SDR cage. Really nice gusseting. Beautiful powder coat finish. They got the mirrors with the LED lights on the front. Baja Designs light rack. Baja Designs lights and front bumper. SDR Motorsports bumper. And they got it all kind of matching with probably the factory finish on the springs and A-arms. And go ahead and hop right in this and see how it feels. Again, nice set of doors. These ones don't have speakers in it. And yeah, quite spacious in here. You don't got as much electronics as in the Mav R. You got some decent lockable cabinets, shit handlebar. And this one says stage 4 audio, so this one probably has built-in audio to it. High, low, drive, and reverse. CVT transmission. I think this is a 2-liter car. Inline 4-cylinder. There you can see they got side view mirrors. Nice big rear view mirrors. Beautiful job on this cage. I really like how they integrate the roof panel in here. They don't use Zeus fasteners, but it is a bolt job, which actually is nice tight tension. They run foam here, so you don't get any kind of rattling. There you can see the dash. Very basic analog gauges, and I'm sure there's a bunch of audio functions here. Some switch panels. That other Mav R that we just looked at, just quite a bit more accessorized in this car. This one's probably much cheaper, I imagine. There you can see their belt system, and it's got kind of this kind of, I don't know, chest locking mechanism. It looks kind of cheap. Let me actually, seating position actually feels better. You feel lower, more sunk in. The Mav R, you just kind of felt like you're leaning forward a little bit. I will say the floors, maybe because it's just super clean and a brand new car, are slick. I mean, they are slippery. Getting in and out of the car is hard to get traction to push yourself out. Nice door. This is a very nice color combo with that black and gold. They've done a fantastic job. There they got some LED whips as well on the top. Big bomber, live valve Fox shocks here. Here you can see how their sway bar is mounted way up to the top, and then big long drop link, non-adjustable drop link. Here's the trailing arms. You know, not as much bracketry and stuff kind of welded on top of each other like the Mav R, but it appears to be a pretty big, beefy arm. Here you can see in the front. Kind of interesting that this hangs below the chassis where the Canam X3 is up here. So I guess their trailing arm stays flatter. You know, probably kinematics is improved here. You could see the CVT, so the belt, I believe you get access to it behind the seat panel there if you do throw a belt. So, and that's kind of one of the downsides, where the other car is a DCT gearbox. Here you can see the headers, which is you know, 2 cylinders coming into one pipe and 2 cylinders. The 2 middle cylinders come into the second pipe. I'm sure a bunch of people make aftermarket stuff, but yeah, interesting that Polaris came up with that. You can see they got just an upper and lower radius rod on this car, and they're non-adjustable. And then that must be the toe link there. I'm not sure what this link is, but it runs from the front of the chassis, kind of behind the A-arm there, all the way back. And you can see this is adjustable. I've never run a Polaris, so not really sure on the durability, but I know they do go well. When I've been behind them in racing, I do see quite a bit of deflection within tow, and you know, they're big kind of soggy cars. Here you can see, wow, the rear diff. So they got a totally separate rear diff, where on the X3 it's kind of encased. It's into the gearbox. It's in one case. So that's interesting. You got basically a rear pumpkin there. Motor mounts. Here's where you check the oil. Imagine that's the starter. No, starter's up front here. Yeah, pretty bare bones. I mean, pretty minimalist, actually, when you look at it compared to lack of intercooler and stuff. Naturally aspirated power unit here. You can see the bed's just tight and narrow. Definitely much more plasticky than the Mav R. but beautiful SDR cage. And you can see how it really matches up with the theme of the car, factory colors. But beautiful kit here. You see the big live valve shocks. We'll take a look at this front area here. So as you can see, not much wiring. It all kind of looks hidden, hard to get to, where on the Can-Am it seemed to be pretty accessible. You know, like here's, for instance, you got just kind of a plug hanging there. You got one going down there, which seems to be a little awkward to get to. Here you can see on the steering link, big cast aluminum piece into kind of a threaded steel piece. So very interesting there. Brake lines are all riveted in to the factory arm. And just like on the Can-Am Mav R, but not the X3, the shock is mounted to the lower assembly. And you can see it's just kind of a stamped steel and welded arm here. This looks to be like a cast piece welded, so interesting method of assembly. Sway bar bolts up to the front. Again, non-adjustable link there, kind of a dinky link going into a stamped steel mount. And front radiator on this unit, and the diff. I don't know, you know, I'm not really familiar with these Polarises, but pulling some of these parts out just seems to be relatively difficult. But it is a durable unit, and they are dominating right now in 2025. So, you know, I guess the goal is to not have to stop if you're desert racing these things, so it's pretty durable. Here you can see the wheels they got on it, very nice use. This is a 35-10-15, so I imagine that Mav R is probably on the same size tire. There you can see Polaris RZR Pro R and then Mav R next to each other. If I had my choice, I would probably go with the Mav R. You can see the Mav R's got also front radiator there. Didn't talk about that too much, but yeah, this is very minimalist. Not outfitted the same way, and that one's just a little bit more kitted out, so it's a very nice unit. I go ahead and walk over here to go ahead and check out the 4-seater car they got here. This one's kind of set up for dunes. They got it all here at Concord Polaris Can-Am. Beautiful cage from SDR. And it's pretty much the same on the interior. We won't even hop in this. But here you can see this is the 4-seat model. Appears to be very roomy. Actually, what I will do is I will hop into the back seat. And you can see how you get in. There's the door handle. Never been in the back seat of a side-by-side, so we'll do that for both of them because that's a new experience for me. So got this seat belt bar that goes all the way across. And, you know, I guess the idea is you never have any impacts, but I do feel awfully close to this with limited padding here, here, and here. You're going to be wearing a helmet, but still, I mean, you don't want to hit your head on anything. Beautiful job on this 4-seat cage by SDR. You get this beautiful ribbing into it to create some stiffness, and very guitar string tight, so probably no rattling. Beautiful color. Again, the guys at Concord Polaris Can-Am just kill it with the aesthetics. Just makes you want to go out and ride one of these right now. It's got a beautiful big sand tire, 35-14 wide by 15 on a 15-inch rim there. Yeah, beautiful kit. We're gonna go ahead and walk over and look at one of the Mav R 4-seaters and get in the back seat of that thing. And again, you guys could own any one of these cars and many of the other ones they have here. Beautiful facility. Gonna go ahead and let's see. We're gonna act like we're gonna buy one of these. So which one would we be interested in? I like all black. I like all black, but yeah, we'll check out this one here. Seems to have the most room. Same thing on the interior, same setup. This one's got all the kicker audio. Actually, all but that one seem to have the kicker audio, so these ones are all outfitted. This one has a TMW cage. There you can see the TMW cage offered in a bunch of beautiful colors here. This one's a red, kind of a metallic red. And we're gonna hop in the back seat. If I could figure out how to open the door. I don't know how to open this door. Oh, duh. There's a handle on the exterior of this. That is very nice. They got some nice weather sealing here to kind of stop it from rattling. And go to hop in the back seat here. All right, so I can tell you right now, I feel much more comfortable in the back seat of the Mav R. I mean, I'm the same way I don't like the seating position in the driver where it makes you feel like you're leaning back is really the same experience in the rear, but you're leaning back, you're away from this. They have this nice foam pad, impact pad, because they run the same kind of seatbelt bar. And I guess the seatbelts are underneath this, so it's integrated very nicely. Actually, very nice how they did that. Integrated the seatbelt bar under this pad, got a solid protected pad there, and you got these grab handles. And again, you're lean back in this car much more than you are in the Polaris, which is not so great as a driver, but it is very nice, you know, in the rear, is you're lean back. And not sure why that door handle's not opening from the inside, but definitely worked from the outside. That's very nice the way the door handles are integrated. There, TMW cage. Yeah, and these guys are just ready to roll. Got the buggy whips and all the tires and wheels ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and go outside and take a look at something else, some of the other packages while we're here. All right, so since we're here, walk straight out the door, and here's an X3. I'm gonna do a walk around. So here you can see the shock is mounted to the top. A-arm here, thin stamped steel A-arms. These things like to bend, especially the lower ones. You can see much lighter weight on the front hub assembly. This is on probably 33-inch tensors, I'd imagine. And this one's pretty OEM stock, has a stock cage with a roof on it. I'm gonna go ahead and climb in here. This one has nice door panels. They used to have this bottom was open back in the day. This one's got some JL audio. And again, very similar seating position as in the Mav R where you're leaning back. This one's got some JVC audio. Speakers in this unit. Yeah, very basic, very bare bones. Actually, it doesn't feel much narrower than a Mav R. But yeah, I just feel like you get so much more visibility in this car, maybe because of the cage and stuff on those other ones. Very nice unit. Just feels, I don't know, lighter weight. I don't want to disrespect this car. I have one. They work very well. They worked very well at King of the Hammers this year against factory race programs. I don't think the factory had any X3s out there, but there were some privateers that ran very well and beat many factory programs from Polaris and Canam in the X3 platform. So same thing again with that nice pad, the grab handles in the rear of the X3 here. And very comfortable. I feel much more comfortable in the rear of even this X3 than I do in that Polaris R. You can see the doors kind of flop around. Yeah, it's a cheaper car. It just feels a little lighter weight than the Mav R. It's got the traditional bed. I'd love to have this right here. And here you got the radius rods in the back. So no adjustability here. These radius rods, you know, typically are changed out There you can see how the sway bar is mounted to the chassis here, and you got a short non-adjustable links. This one's got Fox live valve. Here you can see the inline 3-cylinder turbo motor, and there is the CVT gearbox. And there you can see the diff is kind of inside of all that, where the Polaris had a separate diff and then the Maverick R had the CVT. Yeah, and then we'll take a look at this one as well and show how the diff is packaged in here. And you can see this one again has the wires all kind of tucked in, so not easy to get to like on the Maverick R. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at maybe a Pro R here. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at, trying to find a Pro R maybe. And you can see just an abundance of cars here at Concord, just anything that you might want. All right, here's a 64-inch Canam. These are cool, actually. These look like a bunch of fun. Here you can see this one actually has tubular arms. Very nice. So this one has tubular arms. I would prefer these over the 72-inch car. Same hub assembly. This one is on Showa shocks. So it has high speed and low speed adjustment, no rebound adjustment. Same sway bar assembly, everything just a little tighter and shorter. Beautiful color combo on this one. I really like the black, red, and silver. Very tasteful package here. These ones do not, oh, maybe this one does have an intercooler in it. No, these ones do not have an intercooler in it. I think it's 135 horsepower P-drive clutch inside of here. And then as you've seen in some of the other ones where they have the silicone hoses, this one has a plastic intake, so as you start going up in power levels, this has to be changed. We run aluminum intake manifold from Evo on our car, and that helps keep that from splitting. There you can see the Showa shocks in the rear. The rear hubs, got the dual shear rear hubs, so that's like 2022 edition on these cars. Non-adjustable tow rods like we've seen on the 4-seater. You can see how the shock is in there. We have HCR arms on our car, Evo. We got a bunch of Evo parts on our car. We'll do a walkthrough of our car actually, now that we've showed you some stock units. But yeah, those are fun looking little rides, little 64-inch cars. They just got a ton of stuff here. Little Polaris XPs, 570s, fuel injected cars. I'm just gonna take a look. I mean, they even have stuff with tracks on it. Enclosed cabs, probably with heaters and air conditioning. Great utility stuff. Even the building and the container, it's all just very sanitary here. You really feel like these guys are paying attention to what they're building. So here's a Pro XP. This one's got also tubular arms. I like that, opposed to stamped steel. You can see a much smaller shock from Walker Evans in the front. We're gonna hop in one of these because I've never done it. Nice door panels. This one has some speakers in it. And yeah, that same better seating position in the driver's seat from the Polaris. This one's got stereo in it, and you can see the kit. We'll go ahead and hop in the rear. This one's ready for the dunes. Nice setup. I really like the white sand tires on it. And it's got speakers in the rear. And then, yeah, again, feel very close. Actually, this one has The seat belt's integrated in the bar there, which is nice, but no padding like in the X3. Yeah, knees feel close here. I like the Canams for the 4-seater. This feels a little better to me. And this is a turbocharged car, so you got your belt assembly on this side. These motors are really low in the car. These things handle very well. There you can see the intakes. This has got aluminum intake on it. I think this one has intercooler or something inside, which can be problematic. There you can see the diff assembly is also built into the gearbox. Take a look at the front diff assembly. So there's the front diff assembly. But sounds like our parts are ready, so we're gonna hop in the Shelby and continue our day and go back home. We'll do a walk around of our Can-Am. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this a little instructional.